Hey everybody, happy Friday. I'm back. Thank you so much to Raven for hosting the last several weeks of our Friday lives. I want to come in today and I have a few announcements or reminders about our June happenings, and then we did get some really good questions. Our group is growing and we have some new friends, so welcome. And I'm excited to have some questions to answer today. So as we give people a few minutes to log in, we'll begin with some updates for things that are happening in the month of June at Fit for Life. Most of you in here are on our email list, so you should receive my Tuesday emails. If you are not on our email list and you want to join, just send us your email address and we will hook you up. The way you get on our email address most of the time is by either being a patient or signing up for one of the free tools that we have. Most of those are pinned at the top of this group. So that's how you get on our list. And I send about one email a week. On Tuesdays is usually my day, very much just informational. Sometimes I'll share a blog post or a recent video. So that's what that is all about. For those of you that log on, if you can say hi in the comment section so that I know you're here, that would be awesome. And if anybody has any questions while I'm talking, this can become an interactive video if people are here and listening. So upcoming events for the month of June. Next week on Thursday, June 22nd, is our next free community event. This month we are highlighting our fabulous licensed therapeutic medical massage therapist, Lindsay Whitaker. She will be speaking on the topic of massage. The title of her speech or her presentation is Massage Matters, a Touchy Subject. We are hoping to get a good group of people there to listen to her, to meet her. Several of you here already have met her as by way of being a client. People that come to the event will be eligible she has vouchers that she's going to pass out for different discounts, and one person will win a free massage. So you're going to want to come and you're going to want to bring a friend. That is next week on Thursday night, as usual, 7 to 8 o'clock at our Fit for Life office. On the topic of Lindsay and massage, in the month of June, we are running a promotion that any patient of Fit for Life physical therapy, current or past, is eligible to receive a discount on your services. It's a $20 or $30 discount depending on whether you do an hour or an hour and a half massage. So we are encouraging our patients to get to know Lindsay, and we wanted to offer a little bit of a discount as by way of a thank you for being a patient. So for Lindsay, for all of our Fit for Life partners, but for Lindsay and for those services that you want to schedule, you want to reach out to those partners themselves. You can find their information, all of them pinned to the top of this page, but all of our partners in health take care of their scheduling themselves. So that's Lindsay. Next up is, we are very excited to announce that Joy Semino, the personal trainer, partner in health of ours, has launched her first workshop. This will be Wednesday night on June 28th. So this is outside of our physical therapy office hours. She will be having this class. It's a workshop called Find Your Balance. There is a flyer that I uploaded into this group. You can find information there. We also have information at the office. It is a paid class, so come prepared to learn about balance training, and you guys will be exercising during this class. It is $15 if you bring a friend, $20 if you come alone, I think. And again, RSVP through Joy Semino herself. So we are excited that we have a couple opportunities for you guys coming up in June. So that's what I wanted to start with. The other announcement that I'll make is that in the month of July, we do plan on taking our community event off. So there will be the third week of the month, there will be no free class at Fit for Life, just in kind of to honor the summer, basically. I know a lot of vacations happen in July and people are busy with vacations and families and grad parties and weddings and that sort of thing. So we will take the month of July off and plan on resuming with some exciting content and classes moving into August. So stay tuned for that. All right, so today's prompt for questions, got 2 very good questions proposed. I'll do my best to answer both of them today. I also want to say if anybody ever has a question that they don't feel comfortable asking in the group just for privacy or whatever reason, you're always welcome to send us personal messages. You can do that in Facebook or you can send them to the office by way of email. So, okay, so the first question I had asked today was from one of our new members, I believe. And it is how to exercise safely with hip joint and knee problems that are arthritis related. So that is a very, very good question. My first bit of advice would be encouragement, basically, that movement is medicine, or as Raven says, motion is lotion. And especially when you have arthritis, and for those of you that suffer with arthritis, pain or problems, you know that you feel better when you are active and when you are moving, and it is when you are still, so first thing in the morning or after a period of prolonged sitting is when you are going to feel discomfort, aching, stiffness in those joints. We know that movement is motion for our load. It is when our muscles contract, it's like lubrication for our joints. And so that's why it's important, regardless of what you're going through, that you do keep moving. It's important to listen to your body. And so depending on the level of discomfort that you're in, or the degree of arthritis that you have to be respectful of the type of exercise you do, the length of exercise you do, the intensity of the exercise that you do. There are almost always modifications that can be made for movement. There's something that you can do. So the challenge is to find those activities, listen to your body, be respectful of any discomfort that you might be having, but do something to keep yourself moving. In terms of specific types of exercises that might be good for your hips and your knees, it is a little bit difficult to answer in this platform. We are always happy to kind of collaborate together and come up with some things that might be good for people individually. But if I had to say a general rule for people with arthritis in the hips and the knees, and particularly exercises that are done in an open chain are tolerated a bit better than closed chain exercises. Not always. That is not always the case. But things like laying on your back and lifting your legs straight up, or on your side and lifting your legs straight up, or on your belly and lifting your legs straight up. We call it straight leg raises in all different directions. Sitting in a chair and just straightening your knee and bending your knee are exercises that can be done with just the weight of your leg or by adding resistance. And so we generally start with more open chain exercises, and then depending on patient tolerance, we can find some closed chain exercises to do. Closed chain exercise being exercises where your feet are in contact with the ground. So another tip about arthritis exercise would be to find a water arthritis class is what I was looking for. So there are warm water is preferable, just because the warm water will feel better. And some pools do offer warm water arthritis classes, but the benefit of the water is that it removes some of the effects of gravity. And so you can often do things in the water because of the buoyancy and change how deep you go to make the exercise easier or harder. And those classes are generally taught for people specifically with arthritis and can be tolerated quite well. So that is my answer to the question, how to exercise safely with hip and knee pain problems generally related to arthritis. So for the person who asked this question specifically, if that does not answer your question, please feel free to reach out to us individually, and we're happy to have a one-on-one conversation with you about what you are specifically encountering. And then the next question we had was, when dealing with low back pain, are there any restrictions when doing lower body weight training? That is a very good question. I also need to say in preface to answering any of these questions that the advice that we give in this group with regards to general questions is general information, obviously. It does not take the place of a physical therapy evaluation, which would obviously give us the best way to make official recommendations for somebody having an issue. So you have to understand that giving general answers to these kind of questions, especially if you're the person that's having discomfort, these are very general recommendations and do not take the place of being seen by someone for your particular problem. Low back pain is, I guess, it's very common. So what I guess I usually have more questions when I get asked questions. So if this person is having new onset of low back pain, even if it's something that happens from time to time, like you took a long trip and you're having an episode from being in a car for 4 hours of, some acute low back pain, and this is something that happens to you every so often in your life. If you're having an acute episode of pain, my general recommendation would be to give that situation some time to settle down by doing, number one, doing exercises that hopefully you've been given in the past to treat your particular problem. And number two, I would recommend in that situation more generalized movement. So just keep moving, do more walking or general aerobic exercise to keep yourself moving rather than lifting weights at that time. Again, personal preference and recommendation based on what I think you're asking. If you have low back pain that is a bit more chronic in nature, which many people do, you very often can safely continue to strength train. You just have to, again, listen to your body. The key with back pain is that it can at times impact, when you are in pain, it can impact your ability to safely activate your core abdominal muscles, your transverse abdominis. If you're in so much pain that you cannot fire your core muscles, you're at risk for injury if you attempt to lift in that situation. So if you need more information on that and you're not sure what I'm discussing, we should talk one-on-one. If you have chronic low back pain, the key to movement or any exercise or weight training in that situation is, number one, to be sure that you can activate your transverse abdominis when you're doing the lifting, and then two, to find movements that you can do that are not painful. It is, or least painful, or exercises that don't make you feel worse when you're done. Very broad information there. So you want to be able to activate your core, and I would say find exercises that you could do that are not painful, and certainly lower the weights if you're going to attempt to do anything exercising in the more chronic situation. Find the time of day when you don't have pain and try to do your exercises or movements then. So again, that is a very general answer to what modifications should you do or restrictions with weight training if you're experiencing low back pain. What I would suggest to anybody here that is having a problem, even if it's something, let's say they consider to be a minor problem, and you're not sure that it requires a full physical therapy, evaluation. Both Raven and I offer a 30-minute session, and we call it either a total body diagnostic or an upper body or lower body diagnostic, depending on what part of your body is the main problem. And it's a little more in-depth than a injury prevention screen, but what we do during that 30 minutes is we look at your particular pain problem. We briefly assess the areas that are of concern, and then we come up with a handful of exercises that would be appropriate for you, safe for you, or helpful for you for whatever problem you're having. If we think that you require more therapy, we will tell you that also. So I just wanted to make sure that everyone in here knew that that was an option, and that is definitely something that you can call our office and inquire about if you'd like some information. Okay, guys. This is what happens at home with a dog. Welcome to live videos. Thank you guys so much for listening, and log in next Friday for our next Q&A. Any questions, please share them below and we'll come back in here and answer one. Hopefully people will catch this on the replay. And happy Father's Day to all the fathers in the group. We'll see you all soon in person or here inside our group.